So we had a few questions come in, so I just need to grab one thing. All right, let's go. Okay, so here's a question that's coming up. Is it too late to buy gold? Is it too late to buy silver? Is it too late to buy Bitcoin or Ethereum? Now, we're in a really weird time where everything seems to be at or near all-time highs. And one of the things that comes up in that situation is just a question of whether it still makes sense to buy an asset when it might be at the top of its run. And honestly, that makes a lot of sense, but it all depends on your perspective. I'm hearing people talk about physical metals as if it's a paper holding, like it's time to sell gold and buy stock in power companies. And if you're trading commodities on a brokerage account, that advice might make sense. And then timing, even for physical, might make sense if you're buying something with the intention of flipping it for a profit. Now, honestly, I know people who are doing that very thing right now, and they're doing really well with it. Now, personally, one of the reasons that I'm relaxed on this whole buying frenzy is that I'm not participating in the selling frenzy. If I was selling, though, I wouldn't be taking it to the local coin shop and getting spot plus some small amount of premium. I'd be selling to private buyers using Instagram or auctions on YouTube, something like that, where I could control the price. Now, I'll be the first to admit that there's still money to be made with silver. Dealers are making money on it hand over fist. They've got historically high premiums. YouTube creators, they're making money on it with their auctions. And Instagram creators are making money flipping it one post at a time. And others are selling locally. They're taking advantage of the current buying frenzy using what they bought years ago and selling out of the back of their truck. So smart people are definitely making fast money on silver and then to a lesser degree on gold. And for anyone with a similar selling strategy, the spot price of the metal isn't even really what drives their ability to make money. So you certainly wouldn't say that it's too late to get in on silver or possibly gold if that's your plan. If you don't have one of those selling strategies though, but you're buying silver or gold to make fast money, well then you're relying on the spot price of either metal to go up in order to make that money for you. And that's probably not fast at all. And in a case like that, I might actually be concerned about being at the short-term top of the price run. Now, for anyone not looking to buy silver or gold in order to turn around and make a quick profit, then the question of whether or not it's too late to get in has a much simpler answer. I don't think that it is. And since I don't personally buy gold as fast money any more than I buy silver for that purpose, gold is a long-term hold for me. And nothing has really changed with the fundamentals of gold. So even though I've slowed down buying until the premiums come back down, I'm still buying it as a long-term store of value. And so I don't think it's too late to buy. Now, silver is a little bit different. I've said before that I'm not buying it, but there is a much different potential for selling silver than there is for gold. It's simply easier to sell at $27 an ounce than gold at $1,800 an ounce. But in either case, the question of whether it's too late to buy metals depends on whether you plan to flip it for a profit or hold it long term. And then, of course, if you plan to buy it for profit, do you have that strategy of getting it sold? Now, I don't think of silver or gold as a way of making fast money. I actually think that Bitcoin and Ethereum are much higher performers, and I'm a lot more interested in them as short-term investments than I am in either of the precious metals. But I think the feeling that it's too late to buy either Bitcoin or Ethereum is surprisingly more commonly held. Even though both are pushing all-time highs, I don't personally see either one as being anywhere near the top. So because I'm not interested in selling metals or flipping metals here on YouTube, on Instagram, or out of the back of my truck, my fast money hopes are directed at Bitcoin and Ethereum, and then my long-term asset is gold. So if I have any buying pressure to buy different asset classes, it has changed pretty dramatically over the last year. A year ago, I was interested in finding a few investments that I thought would do okay, that I thought would do well. I picked up Tesla in January and I grabbed a few others throughout the year, and they have done very well. But that was all very controlled buying. I wasn't in a rush. I didn't have that borderline fear of missing out feeling then like I do now, since all it really seems to take these days is to just throw a stick and you hit a hot investment. And cryptocurrency seems to be the hottest of the hot, but the strange thing here is that I personally think it's likely that we'll see a short-term drop in the price of gold. And I think it's very likely that we'll see short-term gains in both Bitcoin and Ethereum. But gold doesn't seem even the least bit risky to me, but digital currencies do. Now imagine a lot of my personal concerns about risk are based simply on having a lot more of it today than I did a year ago. And regardless of the feeling, I'm continuing to buy Bitcoin and Ethereum even though we're at or near all-time highs. So what I figured we'd do is just kind of slow it down a bit and cover a few of the things that I've picked up. Because even though I don't think it's too late to be buying any of those 4 assets, I think that there are reasons to maybe just take a deep breath, maybe lean back, and then focus in on what we're actually interested in. So starting with gold and silver. If you were trying to find the coin or coins that you knew would sell for the highest premium right now, then we'd want to start with the Eagles and Buffaloes. So we have the American Gold Eagles, the American Silver Eagles, and the American Gold Buffaloes. All 3 of these will sell right now for a very high premium. So if you could just blink and have one specific coin, you'd want one of these, maybe all 3 of them. Now, this is, of course, specific to the United States. If you're watching from another country, same goes, but for your own regional coin. And if your motivation for looking to buy right now is not to turn around and flip it or to even sell, then you have a few other options that maybe you'd consider here. So if you really were never going to sell, but you're looking to buy right now, I've seen that a lot of the coins that normally have a very high premium are selling for about the same as the American Gold Eagles and the American Gold Buffaloes. So maybe you're just looking for one reason to kind of justify that high premium to yourself. Well, then you might find things like the Double Dragon for really no more than an American Gold Eagle is going for right now. Now, I don't know if that's solid logic, but I know everyone has different motivations for buying. If what you're looking to do instead is just find something with a lower premium, 2021 Britannias and the 2021 Perth Mint Kangaroos are both really nice coins for a very low premium. Now again, if you were asking me which ones I preferred, well, you already know that. I prefer the Eagles and the Buffaloes, but again, there are different motivations for different people, so I'd say there are pros and cons to all of these. And if you have any interest in cryptocurrency, whether it's an interest to buy or you're just kind of curious what the whole thing is about, I'll just tell you quick what I do. So I use Coinbase. That is an online website and an app. So at risk of making this seem overly complicated, for me it's actually Coinbase, Coinbase Pro, and Coinbase Wallet. Now Coinbase is the easiest. You can download the app or visit coinbase.com. Once you've set up your account and gotten verified, you can buy Bitcoin and Ethereum without any further hassle. If you're okay with a little bit of hassle though, having a Coinbase account means that you also have a Coinbase Pro account. And that will allow you to buy with lower fees. Now, I typically buy using Coinbase Pro, and then I transfer that to my Coinbase wallet. That makes it a little bit more secure. And although, I'm talking about 3 different apps at this point, once you get in and get familiar, it's really not that complicated. Anything that I want to get off of the exchange, I put into my wallet. That's called a hot wallet. And if I'm truly concerned about security, I can move it from my hot wallet, which is the Coinbase app, to a cold wallet, which in my case is a Ledger Nano X. That takes the Bitcoin or Ethereum offline entirely. It can't be accessed remotely. I can throw it in a safe, and it's obviously a lot more secure. Now, the downside there, of course, is that if the price does drop and I want to sell it, well, I have to do the reverse order, transfer it back into an account where I can sell it again. It just takes a little bit more time. Clear as mud, right? All you need to remember is Coinbase. If you're familiar with it, then these other things that I've mentioned, maybe they make sense. If not, go no further than Coinbase until you figure that one out. That will take care of everything you need to do to start. And hey, if you aren't comfortable with cryptocurrency, this is not me trying to convince you otherwise. I'm just kind of showing you what I do. Now, if you are at all interested and you're looking into it further, I would personally say you really don't need to look much further than Bitcoin and Ethereum. Bitcoin is the market leader. It's where the big money is going right now. And because of that, it's becoming less risky, simply because the market cap is so much higher now and it's so much more diverse. Any one person doing something sketchy isn't going to affect an overall crash. But there are a lot of people who think that Ethereum is going to be the winner in the long run, and it's at a much lower price than Bitcoin. So because of that, it potentially has more room to run. So it potentially has greater upside than Bitcoin. So because of that, because of a few other things, I actually invest a fair amount into Ethereum as well. Now, I do pay attention to a lot of the other altcoins, but honestly, I don't see any reason to put my money into any more than Ethereum and Bitcoin. I have plenty of other things I can invest in, and then I have these other hard assets that I'm very interested in as well. So anything beyond Bitcoin and Ethereum just kind of feels gratuitous to me. So I think that's enough color added to the question of whether I think it's too late to buy gold, silver, Bitcoin, or Ethereum. I still think that there's plenty of potential in all of them, and I'm still very interested in both metals and cryptocurrency. Now, I sped there at the end on purpose, since a lot of you watching aren't really interested in digital assets, so feel free to hit me up in the comments if you do have questions or you have hot takes on any of these thoughts that I brought up today. And if you found any of this interesting, be sure to hit the like button. I always appreciate you taking the time to like and comment. So thank you again for watching. I always appreciate your time. Take care.